Intel, Vodafone, MSI, DHL, Alienware, Betway, Logitech G, and PaySafeguard. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Indeed, ESL One Cologne will be ending with quite the bang. It's the upper bracket finals for Group B. It features FaZe and Fnatic, and I have fantastic friends. First, it's Chad Burchill, and we have, of course, Janko Paunovic hanging out as well. Myself, Machine, residing. It has to be snappy, gents, because the players are already in the server. They're like, yeah, we want to play Counter-Strike, so stop these talking heads from talking smack. But first, we have to understand a couple of things. First thing to get out of the way is how they got here. If you wanted to try and do it quick, Janko, do you want to try? Should we just skip it?
They didn't lose a single game so far.
There you go. That's how you do it quickly. Up next, the maps. And is that an interesting conversation to be had?
Not really.
Okay, so there you go. We'll skip that. Let's bring the vetoes up and just skip all of that entirely, and we'll get into the juicy goss that we can.
The most interesting thing to talk about is the fact that JW is having a outworldly or off-worldly or somewhere from an alien planet performance that we haven't seen in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years at this point. Like, when he was God mode was after they won that first major, that DreamHack winter back in 2013. And then after that, it kind of just, you know, there was a bit of a Fnatic era-ish going on there. And through that, he could do all his moves, do all his things, be very aggressive with the CZ, do all that kind of stuff. We haven't seen it in a very long time.
Now, I know we said the maps aren't interesting, but I'm actually an expert in body language, and Janko looked a bit confused by Fnatic's pick of Overpass there.
Yeah, I think it's a great ban from FaZe to veto Train. Obviously, yes, it was JW having a great game, but seems to be one of Fnatic's maps at the moment, and Fnatic picks Overpass. That's something they have almost never played unless they were forced to in best of threes against other teams with the previous lineup. So is this something they've practiced with the new lineup, or because Exist was on FaZe, he thinks like their Overpass isn't really that strong that it's easy to counter? It's just not a Fnatic map. It hasn't been ever since Golden arrived almost a year ago.
Are we both thinking the same thing, Chad?
I am just expecting Fnatic to get absolutely destroyed.
No,
They've only played 3 maps in this tournament, Alex, and they haven't really played the toughest of opponents.
Okay, I mean, that's fair enough. I was actually just thinking that previously when Janko's had that reaction to a veto, it's been because the graphic was wrong.
That's why I didn't want to say anything. I just assume at this point until...
Let's just assume it's right.
It's also interesting that FaZe keeps picking Mirage. They don't go for the obvious punish nuke, right? Because Fnatic veto does too. And that's maybe a sign moving forward that if they felt super comfortable in nuke, they would have picked it because it's an obvious punish. So it might be a problem for them maybe in the playoffs if they meet a team that also doesn't play nuke and decides to let it through. But regardless, I agree with Chad that FaZe is the favorite here, and it's not the same situation like in Katowice when they were with Olaf and they played in the same phase against Fnatic. And you could tell that they weren't 100% in that game. Here, they don't have the luxury of thinking, yeah, even if we're in the quarters, we are going to beat whoever is there and get to the finals and win the whole thing, because they are playing ultimately with a stand. And even though they looked better now, and it seems like they've figured out how to fit a stand in fairly easily.
And for Fnatic, I'd argue that this is actually a recipe for success. As much as the loss of Golden has clearly impeded them, and it seems a little silly to some analytical minds, the recipe is now there. JW's clearly comfortable with a rifle. Draken on the AWP. You're frowning at me. I'll let you close out this segment.
I just think it's absolute chaos within that roster, and we didn't even get to see any of the other players really tested. Sure, Crims, you know, he was doing his work, Flusher doing his, but it was just JW just going to town. Like, you have to look at the 3 matches they played. 33 kills against Big in the first map, 26 on the second map, 29 against North in a game that they should have closed that much earlier. They won the first half 12-3. I just think FaZe is going to destroy them.
FaZe are going to destroy them. You heard it here from Chatty B himself. We'll find out as Fnatic take on FaZe Clan and we jump into Overpass to start things off.
Yeah, indeed. A curious veto. Jason, thoughts on this one?
I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this Overpass goes, is my only thought at the moment.
Okay, we'll see if that sets the pace, if that sets the marker as to how this match unfolds. And already we are seeing a bit of a lean towards the B site from Fnatic. Keep in mind, Flusher does have that smoke and flash. P250 to follow. If that does get put into play, that could be kind of setting the scene for what we're about to witness unfold.
I think Yanko brought up the good point where he said, you know, if Fnatic picked this because they have Exist, and Exist might think this is a weaker map for FaZe, having spent time in this team, I feel like those kind of thought processes and that kind of justification for picking a map, I feel like it rarely works. So that would scare me. I mean, obviously, we can't know for sure what the thought process was, but at the moment, FaZe has outmaneuvered themselves. Nico is pushed forward, and that's a nice shot from Chrome, and they needed that kill, and he's now going to get safed over towards Graffiti. The rest of FaZe is here. Nico still hasn't moved from his perch by the door. They know JW is at the top of the stairs, and he might just be waiting for that flank to come down.
Yeah, JW needs to get involved into this because his teammates are falling like flies and he's a little late to the party, but if they can stabilize, maybe get a plant, that could be okay, but it looks like he's a little bit too late because Nico's already going on the walkabout. Crims is in trouble. Now he turns around and deals with it. Nico goes down. That's big. Crims now starting to feel a little bit of the game. And JW coming in at this point actually might create a chance for them. It's just, can they get past Rain and Carrigan?
Tough part is if they wanted to book it over towards A, Croman can hear all of that. Now that Draken has fallen, they just have to get into the site, and Crims is just taking heads off. He is a god at the moment. JW is going to back away. Crims is going to get the bomb planted into this 2-on-2. A beautiful flashbang blinds both players. Croman has to continue to do some work. Harrigan up top is taken down. It's Crims with 4, and he's not able to. Croman shuts him down. It looks like he's going back for the kit, potentially.
He's going to have to. JW, though, spots this out. Croman leaps in, but time is ticking. Still got a flash. But time, has he outdone it? He's predicting it. Great shot from Croman. And he should have time for the defuse as well. It was individuals on either side. You had Crims on 4 and then Croman on 3. Very integral kills.
Yeah, Croman got the first and the last there, and even the readjustment to go get the kid. He almost caught JW off guard, not expecting that kind of a play whatsoever. So a nice win from FaZe, and a nice win from Croman, who has stepped into this FaZe lineup and started to deliver in big ways. Was good in Belo Horizonte. Now proven his worth here, at least in the one round that we've seen so far, which is a very nice sample size to go off of. 1-0. Crims has dropped an AK-47, or actually he just bought that himself straight up with the 4 kills, and why not? Just trust me, he seemed to be on fire, and he continues it there. We saw JW yesterday, Crims as well, if he just has one of those nuts games. We've seen it, you know, early on in this year, he had a very brilliant stretch. Tough player to stop.
Same can be said for the entirety of the other side as well. We've seen Carrigan having some of those outstanding games, a little surprising to some. JW might have a chance. Beautiful work onto Nico. Very precise from JW. No wants to even it back out. Now, can he read the rest of the play, though? Flush is already out by Monster. Carrigan's going to have to keep control of this. Spots him out, deals with him well. The other 3 are en route, and Croman is there. Nowhere to split his attention. It's fully drilled towards us. The nade, the follow-up is really darn good. As Croman just waits. Doesn't want to overstep, doesn't want to overextend. Plays it well, and puts Exist in an unwinnable situation.
Yeah, but they had great advantages, Fnatic, that round. Opening kills, both of them. Nico pushing in towards the door. That's 2 rounds now that we've seen Nico take control of that short sewers, that door area. Maybe something Fnatic wants to grasp onto for later in the half. But now comes the real buy. With the plant and the pistol, they're willing to take the risk and try and take some economy away from FaZe in that second round. Crims having the tactical purchase. And now they go for 1 UMP, 3 AK-47s. Crims back onto a CZ. But they've got utility as well, so pretty dangerous by all things considered. Guardian has his AWP. No one on Fnatic can match that. And the Molotov in towards Playground to slow down any kind of a push in that direction.
Carrigan could find 2 huge kills here if the timing's right. Does get spotted though, so hard to play that angle once the position has been noted. Gets outdone by Exist.
FaZe haven't gotten off to a great start with these kind of aggressive plays that they've had. Pushing down those stairs as we see Carrigan fall. Nico obviously a couple times, yet not able to get results with his push in door and push around through the tunnels. Oh, look at this boost as well. Crims so close from being able to spot one, and I don't think Croman would search for that whatsoever, and Crims still, I don't think he caught a glimpse of that whatsoever. Just SMG as well, so not exactly a free kill in any way. But a nice stack in these waters.
Yeah, this could work really well considering where they are. Nico could be huge in this situation. He does get flushed, but the support has to be there from Croman. Nico does get overwhelmed, but there's Croman kicking into the action. 2 big kills, JW and Exist. being pushed out of all the matter and leaves just Draken alive.
Croman has been great to start this match off. Did miss that initial kill. Thankfully, Nico was able to recover and get a second, which gave Croman the time to come back into it. Draken now, AK-47 coming through Monster, leading the way. For Guardian, that's a great headshot. That was the AWP. Guardian was jumping for the info, but Croman is there, taking the AWP away. That got pretty expensive. And FaZe have been tested early in these first 3 rounds, but they've come out on top of every single one of them.
And I think Croman's kind of the unsung hero of a lot of this. He's been kind of popping up here and there, but for someone to come into a roster and do well for themselves, he is showing what he's brought, and it feels like he's fit into this roster almost better than Existed, even though Exist has been great and he got, you know, the big results with the team. You look at how, you know, the synergy works with FaZe, this feels like a really good fit for them.
Well, the AWP can get into play now, and we know Guardian, so many different angles that he can use in these bathrooms. And a very narrow one there that's not going to be spotted. Now he's got players coming close. The single scope, he spotted Crims, and actually a tag from Crims is going to force Guardian away, but that might have actually been beneficial. I don't think Guardian was aware of how close some of those players were with the CZs. Rain going to play behind the smoke. B defense as well has got to be feeling comfortable. Croman and Nico both dedicated to that bomb site, so Kerrigan can kind of cheat back to have a fast rotation to A if it's ever called upon. Shot from Rain, and he's trying to build upon it. No real pressure yet. Standing his ground out in the open. He's got Guardian behind him. The Molotov comes in, and Rain is just confident in his position, spots the shadow, gets the easy peek. There's Guardian chiming in with the AWP finally. Kerrigan's going to take up the mantle of the aggressor. And it's just Draken very quickly.
Has kind of got away from them pretty swiftly here. And there's the shutout in the end. FaZe with a commanding beginning. It was quite close in the first couple of rounds, but the scoreline doesn't lie. 4-0. FaZe strong thus far, but the first real big round coming back out for Fnatic now. This could be where they could stamp their authority on that scoreboard and start building their way. We do have the AWP out for Draken. We haven't seen a huge performance from him yet, but you look on the other players of that lineup, we've seen it from them. There's Rain just putting on a nice little class.
Guardian now boosted up with that AWP. Some spam damage is going to force them away. Flush and Exist out towards Monster. Kerrigan and Rain have gotten themselves pretty aggressive, pretty deep on long from the defensive side of things to have a quick flank over if needed. We know Rain likes at times to be aggressive on this map, and we'll know if they're really starting to feel it, if FaZe is starting to really build up the scoreline, we'll just see him flat out start rushing early in these rounds and getting quick flanks, and just see if Fnatic is going to be prepared for the kind of insanity that he wants to bring to the table.
Side have worked their way through by the toilets by now. But there's got to be that internal timer in FaZe's mind as well, going, okay, well, we literally aren't watching this. There's got to be a limit as to when we can leave this completely open. And it will be about now. Kerrigan could be unlucky on the timing. Actually gets out of that better than JW did. That nade could be the finisher. Somehow does not reach far enough. JW is still alive and kicking, and Exist barely took any, but Rain's taking this one into his own hands. That's a big find. Oh, that's not clean, but it'll do the job in the end. There's the follow-up on towards JW. Big amount of this T side pretty much taken away, and Nico's still here. He's not been moved, but misses a shot there that you felt that he'd have every day of the week. Croman, though, ready to go, down to 8 HP, getting pressured from both sides. The site is theirs to a degree. Guardian's still alive and kicking, but he can't stop this now.
No, he can't stop him, but he can give it Exist pinned into the bomb site. There's the swing, and that's the exact shot Guardian was looking for. 1-on-3 for Crims. 3 flashbangs to use as smoke just put out now towards the sandbags, and that is going to tell Crims he has to rotate around if he wants any attempt at winning this, but he knows he's going to have Guardian to contend with, and actually even Rain might swing down, and actually Guardian swapped out for a rifle. He's not holding the angle, but Crims can't win the opening fight. 5-0, but again, it's Croman with a critical, just that single kill that he's able to get is huge after Nico can't handle a player coming through Monster.
Felt like maybe that was their big chance to get back into this, but still enough money in the pocket to get another purchase through. Another go of all of this, but feels like FaZe are playing a very nice game here. And you worry seeing Fnatic on this map. Is this something they can really go toward? Maybe a misread on the veto. We'll see what the analysis desk think afterwards as well. They'll get the full picture in front of them then to work on their opinions on this. Guardian with the early bit of an idea, but with that now noted, it might be time to go towards B. Good damage on Karrigan there on just the spam.
This is going to be quick, though. They haven't spread out at all across the map. This is just straight up run to the B bomb site, hit it, set piece coming in. Exist going to lead the way. One player towards sandbags hasn't turned. There's Karrigan. He's going to get two. Actually, Croman helps him out, and Croman, excuse me, that's been him the whole time. I don't know where he came from, but the flames helping him out and slowing down that hit from Fnatic and allowing him time to get the wide angle. And even JW through the smoke, and Fnatic has just been once again pushed aside like it was nothing. 6-0, and Fnatic might want to start thinking about a timeout now.
Yeah, it feels like whatever mentality they came in with as like we can just do this is not working right now. This needs to be adjusted pretty swiftly. They need to find some way to get back into this matchup because they're being outrun here. And this was the curious pick that certainly raised eyebrows on the desk, and I think we're seeing as to why it's certainly seeming to be something that may not sit very comfortably in their wheelhouse still.
Yeah, whatever reason they had for picking it, right? You've got to kind of scratch your head and say, "What's up?" Maybe that'll be a question for the post game.
I think it certainly will be. And we're seeing Croman having a wonder of a game. He's been seeming to be consistent. I think that's one thing you can say about him, but I don't think we'd expect him to be playing to this standard on his own.
He's been the best player for FaZe in these opening 6 rounds, obviously. And I mean, we mentioned it in the Ents game. Some of these young star players are very exciting to watch. Croman is certainly becoming one of them as well, with the extended period he's had on FaZe. He's seemingly only getting better the longer he spends in this lineup. Rain is, this is what you would call a risky position. There's gonna be, oh my God, how has he gotten that lucky? The double, Flusha just walks right into it, didn't even see it coming. Some players just get lucky. Guardian gonna fall away. Gonna stick around actually a little bit closer with the up, and the no-scope comes in on Crims. And again, another shutdown from FaZe, and now they're just rolling in cash. 3 players over 11,000 before the purchases.
Can't be happy with that, can you?
You've 1 kill on Draken. You have...
How's the scoreboard?
1 kill on Flusha.
Talk me through it.
Yeah, it's not great. You've got 2 kills on Exist and JW each, 1 kill on Flusha and Draken each, and 6 kills on Crims. That's not ideal. That's the, I mean, all 5 players on Fnatic, if you add up all their kills, it equals Croman's total kills for the game so far.
Yep. Okay. It's not been fun. It's been rough. JW this time off to a good start, but it's equally and instantly traded back in, and Croman still wins. Does this guy know how to lose a 1v1 yet? Because I don't think he has. Crims now is very alone. He was trying to be that kind of, you know, catch-in when he tries to come through. I'll be a nuisance if needed. He does find Rain. That's pretty good. That's back to a 3v3, so there's still a big chance here.
Tough part is that kill kind of makes it so FaZe has to make the decision, right? Like, FaZe is the ones who have to decide. We have to send someone at least back towards the A bomb site. That was going to be Nico. Karrigan's going to play in between on the rotate. At least Croman all on a B. And yeah, he's been spectacular, but he's down at 32 health, and he's only got 1 flashbang. Fnatic, meanwhile, is just sitting outside B. Draken and Exist, waiting for their moment to shine. Crims is looking for flanks coming down the stairs. Now, Croman does have Karrigan has a flashbang, and actually he's just used it. Croman doesn't peek with it. I thought he might wait for the execute, wait for some kind of a hit or an indication it was coming and allow that to help out. Deep flashbang thrown over towards the A bomb site to try and give the illusion, the impression that it's going to be a hit towards that side of the map, but it's not. Are they going to clear out this position from Croman? Do they expect it this late? Draken is definitely going to look. Oh no, he turns away. This is going to be beautiful. Croman's going to get a double here. He's been so patient. There they are, both of them as he slides down. And that's going to shut the round away for Fnatic. Again, they've just been denied everything.
How has he gotten away with that? That is devastating for Fnatic. That was their way right back in. That was everything they'd want from that round after you saw Crims doing that work coming through connector. My word. Croman is the absolute MVP for such a player who went under the radar seemingly before this roster.
Yeah, he certainly. I mean, it was one of those players that, like, it's not that they didn't even want him, right? But they were going to go elsewhere for Brazil just because they wanted someone. I think they were even looking at the Brazilian player, it was Horvey or something, right? And they weren't able to make that one work. So then all of a sudden, they just had to go to Croman, and they've got to be happy about that. It's a positive outcome. All this nade is going to do some work. They've ran through the flames, and actually the nade doesn't actually come in, but Nico and Kerrigan combine for 3 very quick. Nico does go down. Croman is brought low, so tempered at the moment. They're going to push him, and finally they've been able to handle Croman. The Molotov going to come into the site. No chance here for Flusha. He's got nowhere to move. He's got nowhere to maneuver himself.
Got a plant, couple of kills, but they yet to get a round on the board. I don't know what to make of this. This is one of those games where it just feels so drastically uncomfortable for these guys. I don't know how the hell they are meant to get back from this. It just doesn't feel like there's any sort of light at the end of the tunnel for them. They're just banging their head against a wall here. And this is the time when you look back at that veto and you go, was that really the right choice for us? Was this really our best option? Or maybe we've kind of fumbled very early on here.
Yeah, that's... you gotta be doubting something, right? This one hurts. Still a goose egg on the board for Fnatic. The AWP is out on Draken's hands. Guardian's got his. Still so much money built up on FaZe. Now these plays, this aggression down the stairs, Fnatic, despite not having a round, have done a very good job of neutralizing these plays from FaZe. And if they can do it again, if they can neutralize this one, that's 2 players that will fall. It's only Crims here. He's going to come up, he's going to challenge Rain, that's an immediate kill. Flush has taken some chip damage as well, so disadvantages across the map for Fnatic.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be getting any easier on any front, but FaZe this time on in the right place at the right time to complete the destroys. But you still have Guardian. He was the only man really on this side of the map, and he's still doing very well for himself. Buys a bit of time, underhand smoke goes up, flash over. He's so good at being that one-man band if required, and Fnatic look a little lost here without an answer. Trying to find a way back in, but there's no easy kills. You still have 5 players to get through who have almost a fair amount of utility sat beside them too. Kerrigan brings himself back over towards the A side and places himself in a close angle. Might go looking for something here. As Fnatic just hit the brakes and try and wait.
Spread out though. Exists in JW both in bathrooms, but not together. Oh, Kerrigan. Spotted Exist first, able to react a little bit quicker as well. But yeah, see, I mean, there's no chance for any kind of a trade there. There's no chance to gain any ground that his death provides. It's all Flusha and JW other sides of the map trying to create something. Flusha's got Croman to contend with, and oh, the timing on this as well. Everything's just going perfect for Croman. He can do no wrong, and even JW's going to get hunted down here at the end. Nico's going to check this corner. JW's aware of the possibility, but he still can't win the fight. A team ace for FaZe. Everyone gets 1 kill, and it's 10-0.
Just feels kind of like one of those games for FaZe where nothing goes wrong. Everything's going right, all falling into place. Especially for Croman. I mean, this guy's having the blooming time of his life, isn't he? It's just like, well, I literally can do no wrong. Every bit of timing is perfect for me. You even just sat up on Monster. The way he was playing that out was just like, you don't get that every day of the week. That's not a normal thing to get away with, especially against a roster like he's playing against. They're a good team, Fnatic. We've seen great individual performances, but we need to see a culmination of that with maybe a sprinkling more.
I bet you when they started rolling, Rain was just going to start doing this. And you can't do anything about that. You can't stop that hit. Kerrigan is directly above, spots the first. Can't get the second, but he's got information. Tough part is even if Fnatic wants to exit at the top of the stairs, not only do they have Guardian, but they have to imagine that Rain is going to be somewhere. Crims pre-fires the angle, but Guardian wisely had given it up. Goes back for more. Not a whole lot of good options available to Fnatic. 2 on 3, this is doable with over a minute. Exist just has to be patient until Flusha can get into position to help. They've got 2 smokes, they've got a decent amount of utility between the 2 of them. And long they go. Decide to meet up halfway along bathrooms. Thinking likely it's going to be one of the least watched areas for FaZe, and they'd be right. They're going to have a pretty clear avenue to get up. The question is, with Rain having this kind of control and position, with Nico in this site, can they actually get in and get the bomb planted? This is an off angle. I don't know if Exist will expect this, and the shadow's been spotted. Nico knows it's coming, and he's just waiting. That's easy. Nice little one tap for him, and he's going to tap away for Flusha, but can't find it. 18 seconds on the clock, and Rain is going for the big flank, the follow-up at Blong A.
Yeah, I'm not sold. Flusha, what have you got for us, Rain? The angle's right for him, but Flusha still wins, but he's been taken really low. And the boy who can do no wrong, Croman, now has the first real test. Tough to work it out. Flusha, I think Croman might have spotted him. He does, and the defuse will be his. This will be the clean record continuing. The first time we saw Fnatic even getting a step towards it. And it falls away from them. FaZe, flawless thus far.
At all the right decisions. Doesn't necessarily help when Rain just turns a corner at long and just bangs out a player in one shot like that. Of course, that's pretty much what JW had been doing yesterday at the big, so I guess you can't complain too much.
True. They've had their time in this sort of sun.
Croman is 17-2. Rain is 13-5. Most kills for Fnatic is Crims with 9, but then it's a steep drop-off. 4 on Flusha and 3 on the remaining Fnatic players. Just not a whole lot of production coming out from the Swedish side.
No, a little bit flat in that front. And it did raise the point, when you see so many individuals performing like they were, what happens when they don't have that? Do they have something to go back to? Does that sit as well with them? Is this a tournament they can depend on having that in the, I guess in the back burner? But at the moment, smoke's going up, allowing Guardian to get a little bit closer. And again, we asked the question of Fnatic, can they finally make that first bit of impact? Or is this going to be the FaZe whitewash? Is this going to be the 16-0 spam on HLTV all over again? Smoke back up on long. Carrigan falls back away. A little bit more pressure starting to build through the bathrooms. And Fnatic, they're working their way forward, but Rain's still feeling it. Carrigan's found JW. It's still going very well for FaZe, and it feels as though it's going to keep... Rain, how is he doing this? They're all around him. There's 1, 2, 3, all in front. He gets down the first, but he can't get the second. They're holding on for dear life here.
Yeah, but he slowed him down, and look at this. It looks like Fnatic is almost considering retreating, but that would be a bad idea. Croman and Nico, and actually Nico's going to play passive. He's going to allow Croman to move up, and if he dies, it's just a phenomenal bait onto Croman. They either come back down into the waiting arms of Nico, or Croman might just kill everything. We know it's possible. He's been doing it all game. 3 kills at the close, and it's 12-0.
That boy can do no wrong right now. Everything is going his way. Yeah, they're voting on a timeout, but what does that matter? 12-0, Jason. This is obscene.
That ADR.
Ooh.
That's so dirty.
I mean, what time is it at night? Is it past the watershed? Is this allowed? Can you be doing this, Croman? Is this...
I think this time of night is when you're allowed to do these things, right? At least it is in America. That's when like all like the R-rated content come on.
This is where it is. This is it. Get an R-rated with FaZe. It's fine. I think they're going to be turning this into a technical pause just for now because they need to sort some bits out.
Listen, they need to sort a lot of things out. A lot of things.
Look at that roster.
Ooh.
Like, what can you say at this point?
No, I mean, that's always kind of the thing, right? Like, people are going to have these games. You don't see them too often at this level, but they do happen. And it is just kind of like, Jesus, like, what are we supposed to do here?
And I always... I know you always play to win, and with a stage like Cologne waiting in, different positions, in various positions, there's something to be said about not writing a map off. Obviously, there's still a couple of chances, but mentally you do check out. Mentally, it's very hard to go, we'll be fine. We've got other stuff to go to. Like, we can sell you the story, but...
I mean, it's the kind of performance that makes Fnatic forget why they picked Overpass to begin with, right?
Yep.
Oh, Rain's going to turn around here. He's going to be able to handle both of them. Got baited in by Guardian, who's now doing work around the edge of the smoke. He's got a lot of time to live. JW, yeah, you might as well go for the knife at this point. Going for the flashbang.
Have a go.
Oh, he's scared.
Oh, he had to reload. He's got the kill. He got the kill. He's not going to get any more. Flusha, 1v3. Not going to happen. Desperate to make it away. Rain is there. The position's too good. Oh, see, very rarely, right? do you get to actually notice Yanko's body language ever changing, right? But when he recoils at a map veto, when he sat there and he gives you that look, you're like, you know something's gone terribly wrong. If you've got a reaction out of him.
He did have that little twitch. It was just like, look, what are these idiots doing?
There must have been a method to the madness. That's the thing, and that's the part that baffles me.
That's what you have to worry about. It's not Yanko. It's Duncan with the exist vetoes. That's what's gonna really worry you. He's been on that train for like 5 years now.
Oh God, sweet Lord! Double up though for the CTs and Peekaboo Guardian.
But I mean, this is also like look at Fnatic though. Like when you're getting beat this bad, why are you still just like sending one player to try and take control of that all on its own? I mean, yeah, you 13-0, you might have just kind of given up mentally already, even if you don't really realize it. But you might lose some focus. But to even get here, it's why isn't there more of a focus on trading for that initial kill, or you know, have some kind of a set plan so that you can alleviate some of the pressure on you. Rain with a kill, and they're still not aware that Kerrigan is in this position. Exist checking it, but it's more of a going through the motions type thing. And now Kerrigan's just going to push back towards the T side of the map, and it's going to be very, very difficult to flush him out of this position. There's 45 seconds left on the clock, and it's going to take a lot of time to discover all these different players at different angles, and Guardian might not even give you the opportunity. Jackin is the last one left in a 1 versus 4. This is where, well, I mean, to be fair, it would have happened, would have started happening a long time ago. But I was thinking at one point, I think when it was like 6 or 7-0, if we were back in Sydney, the 16-0 chance came out very quickly from that Australian crowd. They really wanted the 16-0s.
Yeah, I remember the chanting in it was Katowice. I learned how 16-0 sounds in Polish real quick.
Does it?
When that was happened. It's a good one. I can't really replicate it. You know, it's one of those things where you can like chant with a crowd and you kind of, you know, feel like you got it right, and then like, it's like when you think you know the song lyrics to a song, and then like, oh, explain it. You're like, I can't.
I only know the lyrics if the song is being played
really loud. And as much as Croman's ADR was impressive, Reigns is right up there as well. You've got two very, very big players having big games at the moment for FaZe, and I think this is always the brilliance of this lineup.
And they're at different sides of the map, so it's like, where do you go? They're just both so dominant. One's at A, one's at B, and it's like, well, game over. Even Rain is even on the T side of the map. He's even in mid, he's even in stairs, so it's just like, oh, here he comes. They're not even watching for this smoke to cover it. We've seen him go through these before, and why not? 14-0, you might as well exist. Might have heard that. He just shut the door. Rain catching some spam, not too much damage.
Crimson's turn around like, did we shut that door? I think we did. We're fine. We're not fine. Here comes Rain. He doesn't actually take him down, but the damage has been dealt. Exist on 1 HP, and they're just out staying alive here. Fnatic actually, I don't want to say it because Croman's still standing, but they have a shot in this. 1 round on the board, at least break the 16-0.
That was a really cool setup for Rain coming out the door. Flashbang came from the B bomb site to blind anyone watching for that. I think Rain just kind of assumed he would get that kill a little bit quicker, and when it didn't come as fast as he was expecting, he kind of panicked a little bit. Regardless, the HP is not great for Fnatic. Utility is not great for Fnatic. And Guardian is at this A bomb site. Nico's going to be there very, very quickly as well.
Also not great for Fnatic.
Yeah, but it's 2 ops at the very least. So the HP matters obviously a lot less, and then also just, you know, 1 missed shot and just walking into a scout shot.
14-1. There's a chance. Kerrigan has to get past Crims, and Crims has the angle. This could be it. This could be good for them. Now Nico is still here, and we haven't had to call upon Nico. But if the time is going to happen, it might just be now 8 seconds. He's trying to buy a bit of time, making it uncomfortable. Here's the 1v2, Jason. Question is, does Croman get it?
Croman wins this. I will lose my mind.
It's all yours.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Well, he gets hit with a bullet and I get hit with a bus. I appreciate it.
Look, I just nudged you. I didn't throw you. It was like a gentle, you know.
14-1 for FaZe. That is a disgusting half from Croman. Rain picked it up at the end as well, but I mean, Fnatic just didn't have any answers. Didn't really have a game plan coming into this that was going to have much success, especially with those kind of individual levels that were reached by those players.
Well, 14-1. CT side now, of course, being FaZe. And Fnatic have their turn on the CT side. Now, nothing saying they can't do the same right back at FaZe. It just doesn't feel all that likely. It's got to start with that first pistol round here in the second half, though. So, Guardian putting JW back all the way towards the side. Nice shot from JW on the run, almost there. Takes him away, but this now spurs on the hit. Flashes didn't really work out, and the boost is still into play. That's going to be noted and spotted. Rains damage, look at this. 2 dinks. Flusher got hit, so did Draken. This guy is looking a little wild, but the kills are still coming in for Fnatic. They've got 5 alive against the mere 3. They've still got the kit on Flusher. This is looking like a real potential retake.
They've got a smoke as well, so they can block off one of the choke points or drop it on the bomb. They need frags. And who do you call? Kroben. He's the one who gets up into their face. He wants more. Looking for the angle, looking for the wraparound. Spots 2 on both sides. There's the first, there's the second. Kromen's still living, and he's still doing magic. 3 kills for him, and finally Krims silences him, but he's done enough. He's put FaZe in the driving seat of this round, and Draken, somehow with an immediate headshot, steals the pistol round away. Plenty of time for the defuse. Ooh.
Nice. I'm liking the slow-mo sounds recently.
I don't know. Kromen is doing so much. He's putting them in so many good opportunities. It's unbelievable.
He's died 4 times. That's it. He's having one of those performances that JW had. That's the thing. You can't even be mad if you're Fnatic, because you've had these games pretty recently. Where it's like
yesterday.
Yeah, you're just tearing through people. It's wild to see. But 14-2. This could be a long game for Fnatic if they do eye up trying to get any further here. At least on this map, it's gonna be a very long road. JW gonna be watching towards Party, as the FaZe boys do start to swarm a little closer.
Nice little dink onto JW, but can't get the kill. That means they're going to pick up the pace, though, to try and punish JW on the retreat. But thankfully, Flush is there with a double to kind of secure his passage back into safety. Even Kerrigan out towards long can't handle it. There's been a decent amount of damage done, just no one able to complete those kills. And Nico's next up to the plate with the Deagle. Fnatic doesn't want to mess with it, though.
Don't really blame him. I love the ambience in this map. It's
I actually thought that was someone in the office.
That is outstanding. Nico is working his way forward. JW would be the first port of call if he does make it that far. Otherwise, he'll be Draken on this site. And there's the contact, 30 seconds. He predicted the position, but he can't get away from it. It will be Fnatic with 3 now. 5 alive, and JW, you can't start kicking off when you've got 14 rounds against you.
I'm into it. I'm fine with it. I say go for it. Listen, if they lose like 16-3, no one's gonna remember he did that. But if they win 16-14, he's gonna look like a badass. So fair play. AK's on the board for FaZe. Light on utility, but with the way that they've been winning fights, it might not matter as much. Draken pushing up with that scout. He's gonna spot 1, can't land the shot. Nico is gonna challenge. They've given it up. Some chip damage onto Kerrigan. Some follow-up as well. 66 HP for him from nades. They're gonna go for an early boost. Kerrigan putting Kromen up. Oh, Krim's looking for exactly that. And actually, Kromen even wanted to stick around and fight. Kerrigan was breaking it up once the bullets started raining in to save his teammate's life. And maybe for a good reason, Kromen was ready to battle. No smokes left on FaZe. They've used all of that very little utility that they came into the round with. 1 flashbang. That's all they have.
It ain't much. And there it goes in to try and force an AWP off the angle if they were on long. No one's actually up on that spot. Draken does have the scout all the way back over by, I'm pretty sure he's by bank. JW still holding the line here on toilets. Could have 3-4 players going his way. You can see Kromen's battling by B. That's all but a ruse, trying to keep him guessing as to what's going on, but the read is right from JW. He's in the right place, but is it the right time? The answer is no. Kerrigan runs him over. Draken now next in line, gets tagged up the frag, goes back in with a pistol. Nice work in the support system coming in, but they're being worked down. It's Crimson Exist coming all the way back in from the B side. Exist gets the kill that matters. That's the bomb down. He's tucked Rain away as well. Rain somehow still alive, but what? Nico gets Crims through the fence, and then he finds Exist. That's just cruel.
That's nasty for Long. 15-3. Nicely done from Nico, and he had to do all the work. Rain didn't have HP to take a fight.
Oh, those odds.
Doesn't look good, does it?
Nope.
Well, Fnatic have to start a 12-round streak with 2 UMPs and a Mag 7.
I'm loving the slow-mo we're getting here. Like, the audio's great off this. This is good fun. 15-3, Jason.
It's not looking good.
No.
Well, here's JW, though. Has a chance with a shotgun, gets the tag, completes the kill, gets traded. Nicely done from Rain with the immediate silencing Draken. Oh, the timing. That is going to be so brutal if Nico turns this corner. And then now the question becomes with Draken's positioning, does Nico actually clear directly to his right? No. They're back-to-back at the moment. Now the footsteps might give up the game, although Draken didn't hear it. Surely he'll wrap around through the playground and be able to find Nico, though, who might be frustrated. He's just somehow barely eluding the vision.
This time is nuts. Draken should hear this now, though. And there it is. Rain's close enough he could at least fight this back to try and recover the bomb, because that was left down by, slightly towards B, but left nonetheless. Draken's being a real nuisance here for FaZe. They can't really get away too easily. They've warded him off slightly, but still, that's a big slowdown factor.
That's like putting Draken on notice, though. It's like, listen, fall back. Just give it up. We know you're here. Yeah, with the positioning of the bomb, it does kind of feel like they're kind of committed to this B bomb site. 40 seconds left, and that push from Draken. You can't obviously know that he's fallen all the way back, so in your head, if you're FaZe, you're thinking that your retreat to the A bomb site is not entirely clear. They're going to go for it anyways, though. They're going to have to hustle. 25 seconds remaining. Guardian leading the way with that AK. Smoke going to be used by him. Rain's got one as well. They've got 3 flashbangs. And actually, Draken's going to be the only one here at the moment. He's going to push up towards long, try and find the safety, try and create a second avenue of attack. But Croman, immediate headshot. Guardian checks it, can't win the fight. Bomb is going to go down. Croman on low HP. It's Rain and him against the world. Exist and Crims to try and retake this bomb site.
He split up on spot. Do not have a kit to their name. Croman waiting for a player like Exist to walk past. Rain banking on timing and positioning. And this gets deadly for Croman. If the timing's wrong for him, Crims finds him. Rain looks away! He just looked away at the wrong time, but now Rain, so patient as ever. Crouches down, but Exist is on the bomb. He's got to go right about now. No kit, though. He's picked one up in the meantime. Exist does get the defuse, and Rain left wondering how it all went so wrong, and a lifeline for Fnatic.
Lifeline indeed. Range is too far away to to stop that plant. Maybe kind of lost track of where it was put down, but still only one player surviving in a victory for Fnatic is not great. It's going to be a very spotty buy again. And with that plant, FaZe is going to be able to buy again and just keep the pressure on. They've got the luxury of a lot of rounds in which Fnatic has to catch up before they have to be worried. Croman alone towards the B bomb site. Rain through the underpass. Guardian and Kerrigan pushing through playground, and JW wants to get aggressive. Paired up with Draken out towards long. There's the pop flash for JW. They're going to hunt him down, but there's going to be one wrapping behind. Draken wants to support his teammate, but his teammate's already dead, and now he's given up the game as well. He's got to fall away. The aggressive stack doesn't work. And Guardian not interested in cutting off his retreat. He wants to push forward and gets caught staring at smoke.
Yeah, he does. So, at the moment, back down to this 4v4. And the bomb's starting to work its way towards the B side, taking the longer route round, though. Kerrigan and Rain going to be playing this one out as best they can, but already Kerrigan down on 4 HP, just wants to get that utility in the right place at the right time as Exist and Crims prepare themselves. Crims playing close to short and Monster. Crims over at the barrels now flashed up. Exist feeling very alone here, tries to get on the fight, but no, he can't do it. It's FaZe on the verge now, turning this one around. Rain comes alive when it matters. 2 kills to try and create this much space. Draken on the play back in. This would be a big performance if he can somehow work this one out.
An incredible one. I don't think it's going to happen. Not likely. Another smoke going down, and that might just seal the fate. Draken, because of all the economic issues they've had, no kit for him as well. And now with the spam through the smoke, he's given up the game. They know exactly where he's at. And all that's left is for him to dodge as many bullets as humanly possible. Nico wants a knife.
Go on, Nico.
Ooh, he's got it. He's ran right past the barrel of the gun.
A knife to the throat, that's gonna hurt. And 16-4 is the scoreline. Probably gonna hurt as well. This is not the best display from Fnatic yet, but there are other maps to come. The veto was a curious one that certainly raised eyebrows, and that might haunt them here.
Now the Croman is the one, the takeaway you're gonna have in this. What a game from him. Rain as well chiming in. That is just beautiful performances from those guys, and Fnatic gotta be scratching their heads. We're gonna go to a break. When we return, we'll have the desk.
ESL One Cologne.
Incendiary out.